Hey, Al.
JD,
Hello, mate.
can you hear me, John?
I can indeed. Can you hear me?
I can barely hear you. I need you closer to the mic or turn it up.
How about that?
A little better. Talk to me loud.
Okay, give me a second. Let
All
me just
right.
with a couple of things here.
Yeah, we're far away, so a little technical difficulties happen.
Usually not too
So,
much. I mean, yeah. How about now? Any
so
better?
it's a little better. If you can speak directly in the mic loud, that'd be perfect.
That's exactly what I'm doing there, my friend. Okay, is that good?
Yeah, we'll make this work out. I'll just do a little adjustment on my side. It might be a little low, but we will make this work, JD. Thank you for coming to No Cover TV.
Oh, thanks ever so much for having us, Al. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. So let me first open up the show. I want to thank everybody for coming to the No Cover TV podcast show today. We've got a great, crazy show, I want to say. We got a lot of interesting things to talk about. And who we have in the house today, the artist, the performer in the house, is John Davies, JD, from Death Pigeon. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good. Thank you, Al. How are you?
I am doing very terrific. Talk a little louder for me.
Sure thing. Sure thing. Will do. Will do.
So, JD, we got some things to cover here.
Yeah, sure thing. Where do you want to start?
Well, where I want to start is I want to put you on my time capsule. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Thank you.
All right. So, let's get up in that time capsule. I'm going to take you back to about 12 years old. I want to know what you were listening to and what you're doing and how you got into music.
Wow, 12 years old. What was I doing? I was listening to, that was probably before Nirvana. So I think I was listening to Michael Jackson, Dangerous album, a lot of my mum's old LPs and vinyl. So that would be some disco. There's some 70s boogie in there as well. Some
Okay.
Simon and Garfunkel
Oh,
and
yeah.
Michael Jackson. Yeah.
Definitely. So there was quite a few different influences in your life in the early stages.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, definitely. I think I really
So,
went. Sorry.
oh no, go ahead. This is your show. But when you got a little older, say 18, 19, didn't you found some other music that you liked, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. By 18, 19, what was I doing? So that by then it was Cradle of Filth, it was Dark Funeral, it was Dark Tranquility, a load of more black metal and death metal. I sort of left a lot of the early alternative metal behind. Um, I'd pretty much found that I hate to say it like this, but sort of my calling was more sort of the extreme side of music.
Okay.
I
Okay.
I found it a lot more interesting. I couldn't really understand how vocalists could vocalize in that way and how everything came together in that manner. So I think that sort of grabbed me. So from 18, 19, yeah, definitely all the extreme metal, extreme music, yeah, and orchestrations too.
Sure. Now you're in the UK, aren't you?
Correct, yes.
Yeah. Now that's the heavy punk scene over there and rock scene.
Oh yes, yeah,
Oh
punk,
yeah.
hardcore, alternative, yeah, it's
Oh
huge part
yeah.
of it.
And now before Death Pigeon, were you in other groups that were playing punk, or what were you doing?
I've been in a few bands. I think Death Pigeon is my 14th band. But this is of my own making. Myself and Neil are Death Pigeon currently, and other bands. Yeah, there was a few. We didn't really amount to anything. I have one song from more of a hardcore, more of a grindcore style band that I was in, and we're debating currently putting that song out at some point under Death Pigeon. It's something I might want to revisit, but I think I wasn't that heavily influenced by punk at the time. I think mainly because I think so many people were into it, I kind of pushed against it.
there was a lot of punk going on, and it's pretty heavy over here still too.
Really, that's good news.
Yeah, it is. It is. A lot of people. We have a lot of people doing Ramones tribute bands and things like that and
Brilliant.
stuff. So, but anyway, so when you got to Death Pigeon, now what I heard and I see is metal, hardcore, techno with a dark, twisted side to it, buddy.
Yes, yes. Yeah, definitely. It is. I don't really know which genre really it fits into. I don't even really. I don't know. I just call it extreme metal. I think I'm quite happy with it.
I,
Neil feels the same as me, really.
I think I'm
Um,
call it scare the hell out of everybody.
that's amazing. Thank you, mate. I really like that. Yeah, I like horror. I like dark stories. I like maybe the darker side of life a little bit too much, possibly. I'm not sort of afraid of death. I like learning about it. I like sort of horror, sci-fi. So I think Death Pigeon seemed like a good way for me to sort of experiment with a lot of sort of I don't know, but I would say sort of taboo
The
sort
dark
of
side.
things. Yeah, yeah, more so,
Yeah,
more so.
when I was in the '80s and stuff, I experimented with that type of music and stuff, and the darker side of things, and I kind of get where you're at. But I really am truly interested in your writing skills and your techniques because you kind of told me a little bit of, that you create characters, stories, kind of put it together and make a song out of it.
Yeah, that's correct. So back in 2013, I hadn't long just got married, and I decided that I wanted to at least dabble with writing books. So I thought about just putting together. I created a world called the City. I created about 12 characters, and then I gave each one of those characters a different backstory and a different part to play inside the city. And then over 10 years, really, it just evolved into this huge story, which by the end of I think 2012, I think it ended up no, by the end of 2011. No, sorry, by the end of 2021, I don't know where the hell I am. By the end of 2021, it was about 300 pages. The book was, and
Really?
but I really wanted to put some music to it, so I can play a variety of different instruments. So I tried to dabble with a few things, but nothing really sort of caught my attention. Nothing really worked. Then I joined in 2018. I joined a new company, and there was Neil, and we got talking, and he liked the idea of the story. He liked the fact that there was a short story, and every chapter is a different title of the is a different song title on the album. So then I just carried on working on that 300-page book until I finished it, and then shrunk it down to about 40 pages.
That's awesome. I like how you do it. Now, what you're bringing all the lyrics, the story to the table. What's Neil bringing to the table?
So Neil, so just to run through what I do. So I write the little short stories. I play bass. I'm the vocalist, and also I initially come up with the bare bones of the songs. Neil is the mixer, master, producer, lead guitarist, rhythm guitarist. He is 30 years in the music industry and has really, in the past 15, really been experimenting and really working and honing his skills on production. So as I see it and as Neil sees it, we are a 50-50 band. So there are so many things that I can do and so many things that Neil can do that together we just make a fully functioning band. So yeah, he is a fantastic guitar player. I give him all the strange riffs under the sun, and he just nails every single riff that I've ever written for him.
Okay, so you're hearing my mascots in the background. I got two big dogs that want to bite me right at the moment. So, so you and Neil make really a heck of a team. We're going to go over some songs in just a little bit here, but how long has Death Pigeon been around?
Well, 2018 I joined the new company. 2019 we started talking about putting a band together. So 2019 officially Death Pigeon came about, but we didn't start because of the pandemic and the lockdowns and everything. We didn't start putting anything together until about 2021. So we've been
Okay.
together quite a fair few years.
So how did how did COVID actually affect the band? Was it hard for you?
It was, yeah, because we really wanted to sort of just really start putting things together, and we couldn't. Of course, we could write little bits and send them across to each other, but we didn't really feel as if we didn't really have a good working relationship at that point because we didn't know how each other worked. So we decided on putting together a load of different covers first, which is on our Volume 1 EP. So we decided put some covers together as I was getting over an illness, and then once the pandemic properly lifted, we thought, you know what, we're just gonna go hell for leather now and just get out the album, and see how it all comes together. So it did slow us down quite a lot.
Okay, okay. Well, you got a lot of writing time in there, didn't you?
Oh yeah, yeah, a lot of that.
A lot of that, right, right. Now, are we working on a new EP right now?
Yes, correct. Working on Volume 3. This is entitled The Experiments. And
All
it's
right.
kind of what's left over from Volume 2. And it's kind of just us sort of cleansing our palette before we then go down to the next album and the next short story. So it's just kind of some, four weird tracks, just kind of getting everything out of our system before Volume
Well,
4,
stuff.
before the next album.
Right. Now, let's tell the people in podcast land how they can get where are you on the platforms? How can they get your merch, find out anything about you?
Thank you, Al. Yeah, we are at www.deathpigeon.co.uk. We're also on Facebook, Twitter. Just search for Death Pigeon. You'll inevitably find us. Also, we're on Bandcamp, so deathpigeon.bandcamp.com. We literally are everywhere on all streaming platforms as well.
Now, it's kind of a lot different from what 20 years ago, isn't it? When we didn't have all this.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, remember the opening the trunk of the car and passing out the posters and the CDs?
Absolutely, yeah. Before any sort of digital recording on computers, it was all just tapes, and CDs, and then handing them out. And so many people said, "No, I don't want your stuff." I was like,
Well,
"Oh
you're gonna
no,
take it anyways.
yeah, yeah."
That's
Oh
great.
God, it was so hard back then.
It was. It was difficult.
Oh yeah, it's so
Get
difficult.
it. We did. We made it through it, brother. We
We
made it
got
through.
there.
Oh, so now I see that you got quite a few fans and followers. How they
Yeah,
treat you?
thanks, Al. Yeah. It's really become a bit of a shock, to be honest. We can't believe the support that we've gotten from everybody. So a massive thank you to everybody out there. Even if you don't like our stuff, just listening and just coming up with the idea that you don't like it, that means as much to us. But everybody that does like it, yeah, thanks. Every single person out there. We really can't believe it. We didn't
I,
think that our sort of weird strain of metal and not really having a song, a verse chorus structure would really be that appealable. But yeah, I was wrong.
yeah, I still want to talk about the music here in a second, but are you doing a lot of internet radio or press or anything like that?
Yeah, we got on a couple of internet radio stations. Thankfully, yeah, quite a lot of people out there have wanted to put our stuff out. Sometimes we find out after they've done it, so we haven't been able to support them by sharing that we were going to be on the station. I like
Okay.
to join chats and I like to be a big part of that. But unfortunately, sometimes I can't be if I don't know. But we are out there. We are on internet radio. So yeah, a big thank you to everybody as well for doing that.
Well, they're very nice, very nice. Now, with you and Neil, are you doing all the instrumental and everything and doing it in your studio and putting it together and then mastering it?
Yes, correct. Yes. So what I will do originally is I will come up with the song as I best see it for the track. I'll write the music that I best see for the track. I'll get it all down in MIDI. I will then write a basic guitar line and then write a full bass line. And
All
then I'll record the bass once I've learnt it, usually a few days, and then I'll give Neil the whole track, and then he will tidy it up. He will make the orchestrations much larger. That's something I'm really not good at. He has got this
Yes,
real sort of,
fills it in really nice. Fills it in
yeah,
really
absolutely.
nice.
Yeah, he has that brain where he can really see things in a much bigger perspective than I can. So then he makes it sound like this really cinematic piece. And then he'll
It
pass it
is.
back to me once he's got his guitars written. His guitars recorded, and then I'll put the vocals in and then send it back to him for mixing and mastering.
Incredible, incredible. Now, is this your own studio or are you doing this outside studio?
Yeah, it's both our own. I've got a mini studio here in the house, and Neil likewise has got the same little mini studio in his house too.
Okay, are you both running digital or maybe a little analog in there?
Both digital. We do have a little analog now and again, but we tend to, because of the how clear and how crisp you can get digital recordings, we do tend to go down that route. So
I
whenever I plug
understand,
in,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Whenever I plug my instruments in, same as Neil, we plug it into a little Scarlett Focusrite
Your focus, right? Yeah.
interface. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's such a great little thing.
They
Not too
are.
much money, by
I got one in the drawer over here. Yeah.
brilliant. But then I just open up Cubase and then with USB 2, USB C, just connect straight through, and you get such a crisp recording.
You
It's so
do.
nice.
You really do. Now, before I talk about more music, I'm going to jump over to the other side of my page here. You do some other stuff. What's that? What's this? Independent music reviews. JD's 3D World. Talk to me about this. What's up? What's up?
So basically the music reviews little part of it was is just a way of sort of, I think when I didn't really know how the independent music scene worked, if I'm honest. It's always been something I've been really out on the sort of peripheral of. I've never really been in the middle of it. So when I started communicating with bands back at the start of the year, and we started putting out some feelers and talking to people, a lot of people said that they couldn't get any reviews, and they were, So I just thought, well, as I'm listening to stuff, I'll just write down a couple of words, and then
Yeah.
pass that back to the bands, and then they can put that on their social media, and hopefully that might attract more people then to review them and some such. So that's basically what that was, and I am well behind in it. But I am. It is something that I'm definitely going to continue doing.
That's great. We need that. We have a few of those in the state here, that music reviews and stuff, and people just love them.
Yeah.
Just love 'em.
It's. I know how I feel when somebody just writes something, or like yourself, Al, when you reached out to us, and I thought, oh wow, you actually want to speak to me. Thanks ever so much. It feels so good, and it's. I think musicians want to. They like to feel that their music has been appreciated, and I think that this is just one small way. I think that we can say thanks.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. I've been doing this since '97. When I broke up with my band, I decided to go into the TV industry there and
Wow.
start my own show and promote the music scene. And I've been doing it to 2013 and took a little break. And now it's podcast time. And now that's dangerous because now I'm around the world. Oh, so I don't know who I'm offending anywhere. But I'm going to have to live with that. Okay, JD?
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely, yes.
Now we're in the UK. All right. What's things like over there? What are the pubs? Do they pay you? You got any places to go? What's going on in the scene there?
The scene itself it's not as healthy as it used to be. It's say sort of before the pandemic. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Things were a lot more open. Music was, I think, a lot more appreciated. And then I think over the years, the especially after the pandemic, people now don't really want to go out that much. Gigs are starting to sort of turn around, and I think with myself and my friend James, we see probably about 3 bands every single month, and
Okay.
the bands are starting to come back now to Bristol. Bristol has always been known for its graffiti, for its art, and for its music, and I do
Okay.
feel as if it's starting to pick up slowly. I think it's going to take a bit of time, but usually the music scene around here is very good.
Okay.
There are a lot
Nice.
of sort of pay-to-play places, that we sort of try and stay away from as such. It's nothing, no disrespect to them, but we don't really have the money to shell out for that, not yet. and I think I'm not really a fan of that pay to play model. Um,
Right.
so, for a small indie band, there's a very well known pub called the Griffin,
Okay.
and it's
Now, are they more original or cover bands that are playing?
both. The
Both.
Griffin, yeah, the Griffin is not a pay to play place. It's open to everybody and anybody. So it's original and covers. I've seen so many great bands there, up and comers and quite large bands too.
Well, very nice, very nice. That's really cool. I did a show with I don't know if you ever heard of them, but the Hellcats out of Europe.
No, I never have. No.
Yeah, they're number 4 female band in Europe.
Wow.
So they're supposed to be doing a show in UK here in a month or two. So if you get to see them, I'll tell them you're coming, and we'll work that out. We'll get you in
Yeah,
there.
look out for them.
Yeah, definitely so. All right, here. Oh, I don't know if I want to even go right here yet, boy. Okay, JD, we're going to talk about a little bit of music here.
Sure
Let's
thing.
go to the dark side, my brother.
Off we go.
Oh, boy, you're a twisted man. Yep. Uh-huh. I took listen a lot. I listened, and I loved it.
Thank you very much.
What a great, unique talent and sound, and how you put it all together. And it's just deep. I mean, it just gets into your gut and soul, and you know it's there.
No, that's amazing. Thank you ever so much, Al. Really appreciate that.
It is. But I got to ask you, where the hell did you come up with this stuff?
I think it's quite common knowledge. I have got quite a few diagnosed mental health issues.
I thought I was fucked up.
That does come into play. I mean, it's a part of me. It's in me. Has been since birth. Also, I remember the first time I read a Stephen King novel, and I always thought to myself, wow, what an imagination. So over the years, I've always tried to keep my imagination open and keep it clean. And I've always
Nice.
tried to, whenever I watch a film, I've tried to, think about not just what you're seeing, but what you're not seeing. So,
Yeah.
what's happening in the other parts of the spaceship? What's happening in, when you're watching Terminator 2, for argument's sake, you're watching 2 or 3 characters. What's happening in the city around that?
Yeah. That's
I'm
pretty
really
cool.
trying to sort of expand that part of my brain as much as I can. And to be
Right.
honest, the rest of it is just, again, the rest of it is obviously an element of humor in there.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other part of it then is just to leave your imagination run wild, but not trying to be too gory with it. Let the person who's reading or listening try, let them come up with a lot of the gore in their own mind as well.
That's what captivated me when I was listening to the song, is that, yeah, I took it my way and listened to it, and it was just great, And I deal with a lot of heavy metal, death metal bands and stuff like that, and this takes the top right here.
Oh, thanks
Yeah.
ever so much, Al. I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
You and Neil got some talent going on here. Now, what is JD and Neil going to do with this music? Are we putting the CD together? Then are we going to go out and play, or are you playing out now?
Well, no, we are. So we got volume 3 going. We've got. So if you'll allow me, I'll tell you exactly what we've got in the what we've got going on for the next 2 years.
Sure.
So we've released volume 2 in February this year. We released volume 2A, the instrumental version of the album, on the 3rd of July this year, 2023. We've got volume 2B, which is the last of the volume 2 CDs coming out. That's going to be dance and electronic remixes of volume 2.
Okay.
That's coming out on the 3rd of September. Then we're working on the songs we're putting together now, a part of volume 3, the experimental EP.
Yeah.
That's going to come out in drips and drabs over the next 4 to 6 months.
Okay.
And the first single starting on Halloween, because why not?
Yeah. That's perfect time for you guys.
Yeah, right. And then we're working on volume 4. So I've already written the story for volume 4.
Oh, wow.
So that's all done. So then once the EP is completed and once the final track of the EP falls, then volume 4 is going to start. So I sort of see that starting to write maybe next March, April 2024.
Okay.
We think we might have a drummer now. And then we're going to get a keyboardist and possibly another guitarist, but that's up to Neil to sort out. I don't know whether he wants to do a solo guitar or dual. And then we're going to start gigging in hopefully in 2025.
2025, and that's when you think you're going to get out and start playing?
I think so. Yeah, I think so, because we want to have a body of work behind us, and that'll give us volume 2, volume 3, and volume 4 to play with.
Well, that'll be, well, you got 4 sets right there then.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
So,
what we're hoping.
we're all set to go.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
so.
great. I'm excited. I'm excited because your music, you're going to draw an audience that needs this music, wants to hear this music.
Thank you. I hope so.
You project a lot in your words and your story and your characters, and people get that. Yeah. Some people think, oh my God, it's so loud, turn it down. Listen to it, man. Jeez, that's like I tell people out there, turn that radio off, stick your head out the window and listen, because there's a lot of great original, national, and local music out there, isn't there?
Right, there is, absolutely so. Yeah, absolutely so. There really is.
There is. Now, you must have gotten to horror when you were very young, weren't you?
That's correct. Yeah, I think it was definitely pre-teen, so probably about 11 or 12.
So, what was some of your favorite characters? Maybe Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee.
Well,
who you got?
So right back, I went with, there was some horror books written by I think it was called Point Horror, written by an author called R.L. Stein, and they were sort of pre-teens sort of way into horror. It wasn't overly horrific, but at the same time it wasn't your average sort of read. And there were a few there I remember called The Snowman. I think The Ice, I think, was one of them, and I really loved how he kept everything, or the author. I don't know whether it was a he or she, to be fair, but I remember the author not being overly descriptive, letting your brain fill in the blanks. And then as I got older, I think by the time I was 13, I was into Stephen King, and I was into Cujo, and I was into The Shining, and then it just went from there. And Peter Cushing I first saw in a Doctor Who special on BBC.
That's a
I
great.
think it was Daleks Invasion Earth.
Peter Cushing, great actor.
Incredible.
Yeah, I miss all the old time shows of the Vampire, Frankenstein, the Mummy, all that stuff was great. Yeah. Absolutely. You made your imagination grow, and you didn't look in the closet. That's for sure. So, it sounds like you guys are having a lot of fun with what you're doing.
We are, and I think out of everything, because writing music, as you know yourself, Al, writing music, playing music, it can be stressful at times, and I think you have got to have an element of fun. There has to be. Right.
It has to be. Now, have you and Neil performed out at all yet?
No, not as Death Pigeon. I've played in another band around about 2010, 2011, but that was only a few songs. Neil, however, is in 4 or 5 other bands.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see how he is.
He's forever playing out.
Well, I like to ask musicians that have played in bands or have played out, you walk up on that stage and you get ready and you start jamming and everybody starts singing your songs and kicking it, and how does it make your heart feel, man?
That's a hell of a feeling. Absolutely a hell of a feeling. There is no other feeling like it. There is, when you see people vibing to what you're playing, it's just, as you know yourself, it's just a hell of a feeling, right?
It is. I keep to my heart all the time. Yeah, I don't ever forget. It's been a great journey. And I see you guys are going to be on your way. Let's go right to what's the future look for you guys 5-10 years? I said 5 years you're looking to be out playing.
Absolutely. Yeah. So hopefully by end of 2024, 2025, we're going to be out playing. We're going to be gigging. Then it's just, putting out more albums, getting more EPs done. and just trying to see where it goes from there. Really, we just want to have fun. We just want to play. We just want to, write music. That's what we love.
That's great. That's great. And about that time you're going to be out playing, that's when we're going to get back together. Oh, we're going to get you back on the show sooner. But by that time, I should have some connections for you to be able to play in different places around Europe there.
Oh, thank you.
So,
That's really
yeah,
kind of you. Thank you ever so much.
anything I can do for the musicians, it's not about, it's never been about the money. When I did the TV show, it was all free. Come on in, I'm going to promote your music. Same with the podcast, you know. Sure, you want to donate something, that's great. You want to buy some swag, that's great. But all I care about is getting the music out, because I know when I was a musician, it was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to get your foot in that door, and once you get in the door, you got everybody with a knife ready to stab you in the back, promising the world.
Yeah.
So I try to teach the young ones out there, practice, take it easy, take it slow, and focus, and don't listen to everybody out there, but do listen.
That's good advice. Thank you, Al.
Yeah, you gotta do that. You gotta do that. Now, I'm gonna ask you a question here. You haven't played out yet, all right? But you did with another band. Who would you like to jam with, play with? Who would be the superstar you want to be on that stage with?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
God, so many bands. I think there's one band for me that has really sort of, that is, well, there's two bands, and which have fortunately mean, they do mean the world to me. Unfortunately, one of them isn't going anymore. Typo Negative. They mean the world to me.
Yeah.
But the other band out there, the other mainstream band that means the world is Cradle of Filth.
Cradle of Filth.
Yeah. I would love to see, I've seen them live. I don't know how many times. They really, they mean the absolute world to me.
JD, do you go down in the mosh pit?
Not so much now, but I used to.
You used to, okay. I couldn't do it now. If I tried, I wouldn't make it. That's fun. I love to watch the kids have fun nowadays. I love it. It is a great time. So that's cool that you're going to do that. So now you're putting out all this stuff here. Again, podcast people, I want you to get to the platforms and look up Death Pigeon. I've got them on Spotify here, and there's some songs here that we're going to talk about in just a few minutes. But, JD, tell them again, how can they get a hold of you and where can they find you?
Thank you, Al. So you can find us at www.deathpigeon.co.uk. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter. We're on Instagram, just as Death Pigeon. You'll find us. And also we're on Bandcamp at deathpigeon.bandcamp.com.
That's a great place, Bandcamp. Great place. All right, good. Well, we're at 33 minutes. I got to talk about some songs. Oh, boy. I got the Bible here. I got everything all set. Yeah. Oh, we got to talk. All right. You're going to tell me about some of these songs and what you were thinking. And the first one is going to be Taken From Your Life.
Taken From Your Life. Yeah, that was... So, do you want a little rundown of the story behind it, Al?
I do.
Okay, so that is the protagonist, otherwise known as the specimen, is followed and kidnapped and thrown into the back of a Victorian-esque cart and then taken away. So taken out of the life that they knew and put into a brand new life, not of their own design.
That kind of that cloning stuff. Well, let's jump to one more. I like this one. Human Meat Market. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, that's one of my it's one of my favorites on there too. I really like that. So Human Meat Market is so after the specimen has been starved, they are then taken to a big I guess like a big cattle market. And if you notice on this song, Al, it sounds different to all the other tracks. That's Neil working his magic in the background. He wanted it to sound a lot like you were standing in a cattle market. So it's very airy, very echoey. So this is one of the songs on the album that sounds totally different to the others. The character is
It's
then
cool.
being sold to who would be the doctor, the person that then experiments on them.
I might be kind of twisted asking this question. You might even answer it, and that'll be me more twisted if you do answer it. What do you think the best part of the human body is to eat?
Well, do you know what? That I've never been asked that.
You got to ask now, didn't you?
Yeah, well, do you know what? You asked. I'm going to answer. I probably would say the rump.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah,
There we go. We're going to go with a rump, people.
What I'm going to say though is just to caveat that I'm going to hope that I never find out.
Yeah, me too. Let's just figure out you brought that one up, folks. We'll delete that. No, I won't. We don't delete nothing on this show. Oh, no, we don't. Okay, we got two more songs I want to talk about. Let's go with The End of the Beginning.
The End of the Beginning, our second single. Yeah, I really like that song. I like the beginning of that more than the whole track, I think. What happens in the end of the beginning, that is when the specimen finally realizes what they have become.
I like that. I mean, I just love how you and Neil work just together. I mean, it's like a symphonic band just all put together, and you just throw those hardcore vocals in there. It's just, oh my God.
Thank you. Really appreciate
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. It's great, man. It's great. Now, there's another song here. I'm half tempted to play a little bit of it on the podcast here. You'll probably hear a little bit of it. I won't play the full thing. And then we might talk about it. So how about I push the play button? Let's see if it works. If it does, I'll play it for a few seconds, and then we'll come back. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
All right, I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to get right back. Don't go nowhere. All right, let's see. Here we go. Oh, yeah. All right, JD, now I just scared the hell out of everybody.
Food of flesh, the flesh. Yeah.
Food for the stretch the flesh. I love it, brother. Oh my goodness, that was great.
Thank you, Al.
Unbelievable, man. You're threat. Are you taking care of that voice? Because I don't want you losing that in a year or two.
Yeah, no, I definitely am. I practice every day for about 10 minutes. Yeah, I do take care of it a lot, actually. I know it may sound a bit silly, but yeah, I do. Yeah, I really do.
Good. Yeah, take care of that voice. I mean, I'm a little older, and of course, the arthritis in the fingers hurt from guitar playing all those years and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not as fast as I used to be, but I can still do it. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good.
So, yeah. So I want to give a shout out to everybody out podcast land. Check out JD Death Pigeon. Look them up on the platforms, and you are going to be very surprised at what you hear, and you're going to love it, and you're going to play it over and over and over. And then I expect you to get a hold of JD Death Pigeon you have a Facebook page, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, on Death Pigeon page, go there and talk to him. I mean, JD, he bites, but just kind of avoid him a little bit. Well, you'll be all right. I'm not sure about Neil. I'm not saying anything. But Death Pigeons out of the UK. Look for their music. This is terrific stuff. I can't wait for the new EP to come out. Going to be very excited on that.
Thanks
Do
very
you
much.
have a graphic designer to design it for you?
Well, I'm actually the one going to be designing from now on. I've decided that because of unfortunately not having a
Yeah.
very good okay. I'm trying to choose my words then, but Volume Two didn't turn out how I wanted it to turn out. The artwork, and unfortunately, we ended up pulling away from the artist that we had planned to use. So I've decided that I'm just going to do it from now on. So I'm gonna come up with some
And why not?
abstract, and yeah, exactly. I'm just going to try and see what I can come up with.
I think sometimes when the artist does their own cover, it means a little more to the person that's buying it because it's special and it's done by the artist.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
I think so too.
definitely.
Yeah.
Not are you looking at doing CDs? Are you looking to do it LP?
Yeah, well, I'd love to do an LP. We have done CDs. Volume Two is on CDs on Bandcamp.
All
Um,
right.
we're looking again. Volume Three will probably have some CDs. We'll do limited numbers. LPs, I'd love to, but I just can't afford it. In all fairness.
Yeah, it is a little expensive right now. I do notice people going to that, but of course, cost, cost, cost. That's why my three favorite words are support, support, support your local, original, national music scene out there. Buy their swag, download the digital copies. It's not that expensive. And listen. I mean, it's amazing that you can listen to everybody's music around the world on these platforms because we couldn't do that 10 years, 15 years ago.
God, no, we couldn't do it at all. You have to actually have the physical. Yeah, it's incredible what you can listen to now.
It is, and it's nice because No Cover TV, we are hitting pretty much every country around the world. So everybody's going to hear the show, your interview, and then I will do a late night with Big Al, and that's where I get up about 3 in the morning with the dog, and I play a bunch of music and have some fun. And you will be
Nice.
in that show.
Oh, thank you ever so much, Al.
Oh,
Thank you.
most definitely. And then I will also. If you put together a CD and a little bio, I have a gentleman in Australia that has 5 radio stations that would love to probably take your music.
Oh, wow, that would be amazing. Thank you ever so
So
much.
yeah, yeah. So anything you need, you call me day or night. I never sleep. It's all about the music.
Thank you, Al. Really appreciate your support there. I really do, mate. Thank you.
Anytime, and I'm going to have you back on the show. I am. I can't wait for 6 months or a year to see where you're at and what you've done.
Fantastic. No, I look forward to come back. Thank you, Al, ever so much.
Great. Can you tell me a little bit about what the next story or song is going to be about?
Yeah, I can tell you what the next song is going to be about from Volume 3. So I'm going to sing it in my native language of Welsh. It's not going to be
Oh,
English.
yeah.
And it's basically a song that's really close to my heart. It's still as hard, it's still dark, it's still as fast, but it's about struggling with mental health.
You know, and I appreciate you saying that because this month is No Cover TV's Mental Health Awareness Month for entertainers and other people. On the 20th of this month, I have a musician who's a mental health counselor, and a few musicians come in that have some mental health problems, and we're going to discuss that subject because there's no reason for people not to talk, not to be happy. There's people to talk to.
Exactly. Yeah, there is. And I think
So,
especially in music, there's so many people who are prematurely passing.
yeah,
It is
in
very
my
important to get the word
yeah,
out there.
it's sad. In my 40 years, I've seen quite a bit of different things, and it wasn't pretty. It's getting better, but it's got to get a lot better.
Yeah, yeah,
People
agreed.
got to talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
So thank you for what you're doing.
Very welcome. Thank you, Al.
So I support everything you do. You need anything from me, you just give me a holler, whatever questions you got. All right.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I most definitely will. Thank you.
So everybody check out Death Pigeon and JD, and of course listen to this music, and then get a hold of JD and try to figure him out a little bit because oh my god, this guy's gonna twist your mind. Oh boy, I'm telling you, there's only one other person I know that's like you, and his name's John Rios. good friend of mine, plays death metal. And one of my favorite songs that he wrote 20 years ago was Fuck My Dead Rotting Corpse.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was a pretty popular song. And I did that on TV too. So,
That's incredible.
oh,
What was the name of the band?
sadomasochism.
Oh, no way. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Sadomasochism. Yeah. The very hardcore. Oh my. But you're a little harder. And I love it. Don't stop, JD.
Thank you. I never
All
will.
right. All right, JD. So, everybody out, podcast land, this is No Cover TV. I'm your host, Big Al. Get a hold of me on Facebook page, No Cover TV. Email me at nocovertv@yahoo.com. I have a little store that I'm putting together. It's nocovertv.shopify.com. We're going to be adding swag and some instruments, some signed things like that. And you can buy it. Plus, we're also going to be going down to Turnstiles Bar and Grill in West Michigan, where I'm at. And we're going to be doing live podcasts. And that's really scary because it's live and you never know what people are going to do. I really don't know. And I won't edit it, so you're going to hear it. Wow. So thank you to everybody listening. Listen to the previous shows and the shows coming up because we got some great shows coming up. But first of all, get on that damn phone or your computer, type in Death Pigeon, and start listening to Take Your Life, Food Will Stretch the Flesh, Human Meat Market. Oh, yeah, Human Meat Market. We can make a bologna sandwich right there. And the end of the beginning. So, JD, I want to thank you so much, my friend. I am going to talk to you real soon. Okay, brother?
Thank you, Al. Thanks ever so much for having me today. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So you have a good one and stay safe and be good. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks ever so much, Al. Take care.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.